Hey Plant Pals, Mike the Kid Gardener, and today's video is I'm cooking chili for my wife. I'm gonna make her chili and jalapeno cornbread. It is gonna be below 0 degrees Fahrenheit all week, and it's snowed pretty much every day, so we have to go out there and shovel it. Our backs hurt, and so need something that's gonna warm us up. So I'm going to be making chili, but I'm gonna do it because like I said, my back is hurting. I don't feel like doing a super long chili cook, so I'm going to show you some simple shortcuts on making chili with just canned beans and some chipotle and adobe sauce and hamburger and some sausage, pork sausage, and of course the herbs and peppers and whatnot. And I've got a bunch of spices ready to go. Some are from my garden, some aren't. But it's the middle of winter time, so I don't have too many choices. These peppers, of course, are all ones that I've grown inside. Grew those inside. Of course, I can't grow an onion. Or that, I mean, I suppose I could grow the green onions inside, but I am not right now. I don't have the room. All right, I'm going to get started. So I'm not going to bore you with all the chopping and stuff. I know some people enjoy watching that, but it'll go faster if I just do it. Because like I said, I'm tired. Been shoveling 2 hours pretty much every day, and wife has it's been non-stop snowing and dusting, so I'll do the big removal with the plow buries us under, and then she'll go and kind of do the cleanup work. So yeah, all right. Anyway, I might show a video that one of these days of the plow just completely burying big giant street plow, not like a little pickup truck, but those big construction sized plows comes by and just completely covers my sidewalk and buries my driveway under feet of snow. So it's not only do I get if it snows a foot, I end up with 5 feet of snow because of the plow. All right, anyway, I'm going to chop these up, and I will get the pork sausage and the hamburger starting to brown. Well, first I'll put the onions and peppers in first, and then I'll put the hamburger in, and then get that going. Oops, oh yeah, that reminds me, I need some. So I do have my beef broth. I'll add that, because water has no flavor, so why not add something that it does, which is beef broth. It'll fortify it, make it taste like it cooked all day. That's kind of one of the secrets. So yeah, I'll get going, and I will be back. All right, I got the hamburger browning. Got a bunch of spices here. I'm going to put into this is rib rub I made, some taco seasoning, some Worcestershire sauce, some chili powder, and some beefy onion mushroom soup mix, because it adds a nice, like I said, I want to make it taste like this thing's been cooking on the stove for hours, like grandma would make. But I don't have all that much time. I'll have just a couple, like maybe 2 hours. So you got to cheat. And the way you cheat is you add flavoring. Like, you don't use water, you use beef broth, because that makes it taste like it's been cooking on the stove all day, and you add a little bit of soup mix to it. And that's a quick tip, sorry. Told you I'm tired. All right, so I'm going to put my seasoning in here, and I'm going to cover it, let the hamburger brown, and then I will come back once the hamburger gets a little bit browner, and then I will put the beans and the chipotle in there and the beef stock, and then I'll let it simmer for like an hour, and it'll taste like it's been cooking all day. All right, I will be back. All right, I got the lids on, so I got the seasoning in there cooking up. I added a splash of tamari, because again, it adds the meaty taste. It's got the salt and the umami flavor that brings out the meatiness taste in beef. So that'll enhance it. So that'll be great. And then at the end, which I'll show, is I'll add a splash of balsamic just to kind of brighten things up at the very end of the cook. But that's not for at least an hour or so. So I will be back. Another tip is if it's not quite spicy enough, And I want, instead of using the balsamic vinegar, I can use my pepper sauce, which is peppers, very hot, spicy peppers, in white vinegar. So that's been soaking for a couple months now. So that's pretty cool. Tastes awesome. Love it. All right. That's one quick little tip. I might probably use this instead of the balsamic because I like it so much. And I'll show you another quick tip is if you're meal cooking, I have more than one of these disposable. You can keep them around for a while. The plastic cutting boards, I just kind of wash them and reuse them. You know, you can use them a few times before you get rid of them. And sorry for the sniffing. I just put a whole bunch of pepper and spices and seasoning in my chili, so I got the sniffles. All right, but anyway, these are the jalapenos that are gonna go for the cornbread, and I don't want to chop them on the same cutting board that I chopped all the other peppers and stuff and the onions and stuff. I don't want that flavor in my cornbread, so I always keep a couple of these cutting boards around so that I can, you know, that I use a clean knife, and that way I won't transfer the flavors. And that's also especially a good tip if you're you don't want cross contamination between, like, you're gonna cut meat, like raw meat or fish or something, and then you chop up your vegetables. You don't want that, so get a couple of, you know, you get them off Amazon. They're pretty cheap. You get like a pack of 10 for like $8 or something like that. It's really reasonable price. Yeah, and this was actually like a promotion for something, but I can't remember what. But so I've had this one for a while, and it still works great. All right, this is just another quick tip. Everything's cooking, and I will be back. Here's kind of a fun, interesting experiment I'm going to do in the summertime. These are all store-bought jalapeno seeds. They're from green jalapenos, and you typically want your jalapenos to be red and ripe when you save the seeds to ensure germination. But I got so many here, I figured, why not? I'll give it a try. We'll see what happens. And that'll be a fun little experiment for the spring. I'm going to use these for my jalapeno cornbread. All right, I will be back. All right, I got the beans in. The beef is pretty much, well, it is done cooking. So now it's just everything to meld the flavors. Let the onions kind of dissolve. You can see there's one kind of hanging out on the side here that'll dissolve in. And this one, so I did in 2 pots because I'm going to make a big batch. So I knew it wouldn't all fit in one. And I got my beef bone broth here. Didn't have any made ready, so I'll just use the store-bought, which is fine. Again, it's just a quick chili. So I'm gonna put in the beef broth and let it simmer until I feel like it's done. Then I'll get the jalapeno cornbread going, and I'll finish up the meal. All right. Here's another quick tip for you. If you want to balance out the heat of the jalapenos, add a little bit of sugar to it. Again, this is for my wife. She doesn't have any dietary restrictions, so she can have the carbs and the sugar, which is awesome. I'm happy to make it for her. And I usually steal a little piece. It doesn't affect me. So if I keep it to a small treat and not eat too much. But yeah, so I add some sugar to the jalapenos and I let them sit before I start making the cornbread, and that will add some flavor and some sweetness to the cornbread because I like mine sweeter, and she's kind of learned to adapt it. You know, when she's eating it, you know, when she's not when she's using it for her southern dishes, she likes the standard non-sweet cornbread, but she's just going to eat it kind of stand alone with the chili. Then it's going to be hot, spicy chili. The cornbread adds a little bit of sweeter cornbread, adds a little bit of relief to the heat. So yeah, so I got the eggs. I'm using heavy cream instead of milk, just because that's the way I like it. It always turns out awesome. I'm using a pre-made, again, to save time, I'm using a pre-made corn bread mix. It's one I like. Not endorsed by them or anything, it's just one I happen to like. There's my melted butter. And then I like to add a little extra cornmeal just to make it the way, the texture and the style that she likes. Because this is a little bit more, it's a little bit more cakey, and then she likes hers a little more, the granules of the cornmeal. So that's what I'm gonna do for her. All right. So everything's cooking. I'm just waiting for the chili to get closer to being done, about half hour from being done. I'll throw the cornbread in the oven, and then she can come home and have a nice, delicious warm meal. All right, I will be back. All right, chili is done. Here's your bowl. It's been cooking for about 2 hours. The juice. All right, and then also have cornbread. Delicious. All right. Any comments, questions in the comment section? Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have an awesome day.